Welcome back, everybody, here to the 6th eSports World Championship live from Azerbaijan, Baku. I am Toby1, joined by DOTA2 for what is now officially our final game of the night, Durka. There is no more after this. We all go, enjoy a good meal, have a good sleep, and come back at 10 a.m. to watch a wonderful game. Let's set the first semi-finals. Start tomorrow. Great day. It's been some wonderful games to Dota. It really has been.
And Jakiro picked up by Team Romania there, not letting this hero through.
You want to get straight into it, man. You want to get straight into it.
Yeah, Meepo banned again, Team Russia. They know. They just know.
It's they won't let it through. They don't like playing up against it. I don't blame them at all. And they take out the Nargotharan as well. Lycan faces Void being removed, so Void almost in every single ban. But they all go past, would you believe, the Brewmaster. And it's the first time in the games at least I've been casting here, he hasn't been banned out in the first two. And we passed up here, and rightly so for Team Romania. It worked for them before, they'll try and do it again. And Nature's Prophet as well as a Jakiro are the first two pickups for them, and the Ogre with the Viper for Team Russia. So again, stable team fight coming out from Russia, good initiation, a little bit weak on the pushing power, however. That's where Team Romania have their strengths.
I wonder if they go for the same strat and put Nature's Prophet in the jungle, because we've talked about this over the last couple of days, that he isn't really a strong offlaner anymore. He gets silenced, stunned, zoned out of the lane and get no experience whatsoever.
I don't think it's going to work twice. It won't work twice. Team Russia will be, they'll be looking for it, and they'll be at least picking up two supports which would have no problem to move into the enemy jungle and try and just stop him from farming. Or at least they actively move into the jungle when they push. So they take out Tier 1, Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, for example. They cannot let him have that freedom. Well, they take out the Death Prophet, take out the Centaur. Razor Tide will also find their way into the ban pool now. And Team Russia will see how they do try and set it up. What's going to be their second support? Skywrath Mage again being available here in the pool. And that is exactly what Team Russia will take. They're the ones with the stun. Team Romania wouldn't have got that because, again, I think we discussed this during game number 1's draft, where it's like a Jakiro and a Skywrath Mage together. It's just too weak because you're missing out on stuns. But this does mean Team Russia, again, we're running a one-stun lineup at the moment.
Again.
You get a lot of slows and some decent ukage power, but it's still only the Ogre Magi as the man with the stun, where Jakiro... It's like Yule Scepter and Device Pop. You get like mass amounts of like movement control, and Nature's Prophet in his own way too also has that with the Sprout, even though it cannot be classed as a stun because it's not. It's a surround.
Do they still go towards the same draft as they had last game? They did have a lot of success in the laning phase. It did fall about in the 20-minute mark to the 30-minute mark when Invoker and Death Prophet got
I
some
have
levels.
no problem with it in this game. Like, it worked in the last game, but they also had some decent control abilities. But you run an Ogre and a Skywrath Mage here, your Spirit Breaker actually functions correctly in this game. And actually really difficult to stop. The downside is you don't have the Centaur as your Get Out Gel free card. Team Russia banned that out in the 3rd stage, which kind of cripples it a little bit because you still need to have that initiator. And you could always use Clockwork, but he would kill himself against a Skywrath the second he cogged.
So I was wondering if Team Russia goes the same strat they did last game and whether Team Romania goes the same strat they did first game. We might see the same drafts from both teams.
It could work. Who else was left in the Romanian lineup from game 1? I thought the Centaur was part of that.
Yeah, Centaur was.
So they can't do that at least.
Team Russia can go for TA and the Bristleback, which they had last game.
I'm actually wondering where you put the Jakiro here. I'd almost like to see... Mike can't make me believe in the offlane Spirit Breaker for at least this game. You got Nature's Prophet, you got Jakiro. You could potentially run both these heroes as offlaners or in the jungle, which makes it very difficult too when Team Russia knows the history of their games to understand where Team Romania are placing heroes. So all they can really do with their lineup is focus on their combinations. What works for them, they should just do. And please get another stun.
Just one.
They need something to try and stop that Spirit Breaker beyond Ogre Magi. The problem is, like...
They're looking for a core with a stun.
You could use... you still need a catch out here. I'd actually look towards the puck for Team Russia in this game. I know you probably won't be running the Viper in the middle lane, but the ability to have Dream Coil up against both Nature's Prophet, Spirit Breaker, potentially having Silence as well, the ability to phase shift out when Spirit Breaker first charges in, Like, he'll be really nice. And in fact, yeah, Team Russia will agree with me on this one. The Puck is just such a good hero up against the lineup that Team Romania has provided. The downside is there's still no push power. And the split push power from Puck isn't really there. Like, you could use Illusionary Orb to try and do your counter push, sure. But beyond that, it's very, very difficult. So Team Russia needs someone who actually has some forward momentum. Or else it just turns into a mass team fight. And then Team Romania can just say, well, screw it. We'll force out buildings. Let's bring in that lone druid, the classic old pickup, and do that as a safe lane hero, because they won't have enough damage to get through him, because their physical DPS is still heavily reliant on that Viper going to work.
Do you think this is Puck off lane or Puck mid?
Puck mid.
Okay.
It can move around depending on what Team Romania try and function with, like try and run in the middle lane. Like if it's a Templar Assassin, again, they could just switch the Jakiro to go up against it. If it's a Viper in the middle lane, then sure, but like the Razor was already being banned out, and that was after the Viper was being picked. So I think Team Romania already are quite happy, like not to try and get a head-to-head matchup up against the Viper.
I'm just wondering, with what they've got, the fact that Scarth Mage has concussive shot to close the distance, Ogre to stun and slow someone down, then if you pick a Lifestealer here with the Puck, you've got the Lifestealer bomb, have Viper mid, Puck off lane. It balances your lanes quite well. I'm just wondering how Lifestealer works up against what Team Romania have right now. Decent against the Nature's Prophet, good against the Spirit Breaker. Jakiro is dependent on what they pick now, which is a Legion Commander, so I don't think it's going to be the Lifestealer then.
It's definitely not the Lifestealer. I would already be too concerned the Lifestealer could get kited, with Puck or not. If you try to run Puck on an off lane here, I don't think he's going to hit his higher levels early enough.
Well, the way Team Romania have run this is that they have like 3 solo laners, and they run it very greedily, so Puck could get away with getting some last hits on that off lane.
Very smart ban out as well. If that is an off lane Bristleback and it's a safe lane Legion Commander, the Legion Commander could find herself losing that lane very, very quickly. Right, Team Russia now, their final selection, they know they're going up against a big lockdown control. They go for a Wraith King as their final selection. And if this is an aggro tri lane, then you can paint me pink right now. Like, it's Ogre, Skywrath, and Wraith King up against, like, melee heroes. Like, they should be able to go a full aggro tri-lane on this one, leave Viper up on the top lane to go one-on-one with the Jakiro, and then put the Puck in the middle lane to go up against said hero, which shall now be picked.
TA is still there, and we've seen Weehaw do very well on that hero.
Ooh, he would be good. And it's that consistent damage you can keep getting during the fights.
And there's nothing to really stop her.
It's also a double blink hero. And with that high nuke damage you get with like the Meld Strike, I should go for a Dragon Knight. Push power beyond instead of kill power, even though Dragon Knight does provide both of these as well. But I'm interested to see the build that comes out from Dragon Knight. Now, do you go for your early BKB, realizing there is not a single ability from Team Russia that can breach your BKB?
Viper Strike.
Viper Strike. There is one ability that can breach Viper Strike, and it's waiting now for you to say the second ability. I'll come again.
There is one. It's fine.
The slow doesn't breach you from Wraith King's death, does it? Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. Does it? Double check that one. That's the only other thing I can think of with all the abilities on Team Russia that could potentially
Pretty
change.
sure it doesn't.
I'm fairly certain it doesn't as well. But yeah, you have one ability, which is Viper. But I don't think DK really cares about that. If he's able to get that off, he'll be like, yeah, I applaud you for your work. And now my Legion Spirit Breaker as well as Aegis Prophet and Jakiro will then kill you. All right, so it is going to be the off-lane Jakiro to go up on the top lane. He's actually going up against the Puck. Now, Puck enjoys this lane because the Liquid Fire is never going to hit him. But at the same time, he doesn't care about that because the Puck won't be able to kill the Jakiro. This is the problem for like the Puck safe lane. Jakiro is very tanky. If you're all harassing, you're probably going to be pushing out the creep wave as well, and that just works for the Jakiro because then it's going to kick back and you can use Liquid Fire to push and he gets levels. And that's all he really wants from this offlane.
It's a little difficult for the Puck though because that Liquid Fire doesn't have a slow projectile speed, and you can bait it out. You can, well, it has the same animation as your normal attack, so you can do normal attacks or bait actually using the spell.
It is slightly different because it's the left head that rears. Because the attack, there's always one easy way to tell if you have Liquid Fire actually available.
The flaming.
It's the flaming head of this fire dragon on the side, and when he attacks, the attack actually comes from the left mouth as opposed to the right mouth. But it's such a minute thing you won't look for it. The full rearing before he attacks is still as you, it's still exactly the same. I might actually be a little bit wrong. No. Yeah, I'm feeling confident in my.
I like what Zizzo's doing there, leaving his boots on the ground. And we used to see this a lot from Nature's Prophet players, put them on the courier so you can block more efficiently and then pick up the boots of speed when the creeps speed up.
I want to ask you a question right now about Legion Commander. What skill build should she be having up against Russia in this game?
Well, she's against aggressive tri-lane, so I'm looking for overwhelming odds because it does more damage the more units there are. It's going to be good when they try and dive. So she's probably going to go for, like a 3-2-1 possibly. Or 3-2-0-1. Not really go for any in moment of courage just yet.
It's like it's having press the attack is something which I would look to see nice and high, at least one level. A little bit of problems right now from Ogre. He's stopping him from doing the stack. However, by pulling up like this, he actually did the stack for him. That wasn't the plan, Stan. He had to take too much damage if he stuck around for it. Well, that's probably the reason why he was backing up. Well, that's the beauty of that spawn box being very short on the top of the stack, which means now the pull does happen. Now this is a little bit like Legion Commander's already level 2 and a bit. So you've already got your press the attack and the overwhelming odds. So Russia diving into this lane under Illusionist as well as the Legion Commander isn't really going to work. And this really hurts the Wraith King as well because he's forced to come too close. Okay, maybe Legion Commander should get itself down towards that bottom tower and back into experience range. Actually got there in time. But they're going to come into attack. First stun, follow-up stun. Orb to attack. Legion Commander now going to press the attack. Overwhelming odds available. Charge coming after that Wraith King. They need the attack to come in, or they just get support coming in from Synergy, and they focus on the Skywrath Mage. One more Hellfire Blast to go. The attack will cancel the South. Another blast coming out. It's the fire one from the Ogre Magi. And more harassment attack. They can see on the other side. The Observer Ward's watching him perfectly. There's a lot of damage being taken by Team Russia, and they're going to burn through every consumable to get back up to full life.
Yeah, exactly. More importantly, they've got no mana left, so they can't actually cast any more spells. Ogre is the only one who uses his clarity, gets some mana back, but Wraith King, no stuns left, half HP, he uses his salve though.
This is, well, you got one Tango charge each. Not liking this at all as far as Team Russia goes. And they've already backed up the Skywrath Mage. So without him on the lane, Legion Commander can directly fight up against the Wraith King and now finally contest for some of the CS without always having to rely on this pull. Which again, you'll have Ogre Magi move himself over and hopefully not stack for Team Romania. How's the mid lane looking in their off lane? So you got DK, he's walking around with 10 for 1 up against a Viper, who's 13 for 3. It's always a little bit more difficult for the DK early on before he gets the bottle as well as the 2 points up in the Breathe Fire to contest the farm up against a Viper, because Viper's able to harass the DK back out of the lane. But then up on the top lane, you got Jakiro, who is currently on 13-2 up against the 14-5. But he hasn't reached that top tower yet, but he does have level 4 and 2/3. Which means that level 3 Liquid Fire will approach, and that's the point when you always want to be close on the towers. Charging towards middle lane. DK, Dragon Tail stun, Breathe Fire. He's holding on to it to kill secure. And that's going to be your first blood. Team Romania will take it with a very smart moving hero, while on the bottom lane, Legion Commander, he's going to press his attack. There's still no mana for that Hellfire Blast. The Fire Blast come off cooldown in a moment, but into the trees they head. Where's your TP support? They got to keep the vision. The Arcane Orb will be able to get that kill, but in comes Jakiro. He wants the Liquid Fire onto the Ogre Magi, but he starts with the dual Ice Path and the dual Breath as well. That's exactly what he wants with the Liquid Fire. It will spill over to the Wraith King. You'll have the tick out right there on the Ogre Magi. And Wraith King's still on the run. Yep, he's got 2 seconds until both Ice Path and Dual Breath are up. And he has mana for both, but he did not have the Liquid Fire available.
Not quite fast enough. Nice movement there from Zizzo, but this does give time to the Puck, who is sitting on about 900 gold. Probably going to go straight for the Blink Dagger. Doesn't need Arcane Phase, doesn't really need Bottle or anything like that. She's going to be just fine up here.
Yeah, but the downside is you're still technically running a jungle hero from Team Romania.
Yeah.
Which you're not for Team Russia. So overall, the experience gain should be higher for Team Romania because of this. And it is again this Boots and now second null talisman being purchased, allowing him to fight. And problematic die, okay, this is, wait, he's just going to back up? Is he going to come back in again? He doesn't know the charge is on the way. Are they, yeah, okay, pulling out at the last moment. Safety first. Especially when Viper's about to crack level 6. DK is already level 6, which is the reason why they want to initiate them, because all he's got to do is pop ulti and Dragon Tail, just like that. Into the Ice Path, Liquid Fire, Dual Breath, charge at short range, Synergy, cancel that TP. It was not going to end well if he did come in.
That was so good. Full sense of security. Giving that Viper the notion that, okay...
Look at the dot fix!
Yeah. The Viper thinking, okay, that gang failed, I'm fine now, he doesn't have charge, but that charge has such a short cooldown, really. Goes straight back in as soon as the Viper oversteps his bounds, and you are right, that tier 1 tower falling so quickly.
It's the poison combination of both like the Dragon Form as well as the Liquid Fire. With 5 minutes 40 seconds in, yeah, you go for it. Well, at least force out fortification. That's what you're searching for right now. Because that means you can at least make sure when you push another tier 1 tower, you can bring it down straight away. And you got Dragon Form. You just get your attacks in. It's going to wear off soon. But with just that, okay, that was what? One Liquid Fire, maybe 2 Liquid Fires. Bottom lane, Prophet going to TP in. The Sprout to Wraith King. He's got Quelling Blades. He'll just cut his way out. But they didn't get the fortification off. But they got the tower down to 2/3 of its life points. And we're 6 minutes in. Remember what was supposed to change with that early fortification? It was like, okay, we stop the early push.
Yeah, but that stops, you know, heroes like Chen, Death Prophet, Enchantress going out to towers with a bunch of creeps or Exorcism.
Yep.
And just going, okay, fly. But with Liquid Fire and Poison attack? No. The Dragon Form attack.
Yeah, the poison tick, well, he's called. I'm happy with that.
That doesn't care about armor.
Well, it really doesn't. That's all that direct attack into towers. It's just a beautiful combination.
Corrosive
and now,
breath.
Wraith King, Hellfire Blast. If he throws it straight away, that means Spirit Breaker is capable of just doing the quick charge. He'll TP out, and the Dream Call has to be used to cancel the TP. So that's the first time he used it. Oh, he takes the stun! He was a fraction of a second too early. He'll stick charge up, but the puck attack will finish the kill. It wasn't really the plan from the Spirit Breaker. I think his plan was that Dream Call to wear out absolutely perfectly at the right time, and he just charges himself away to safety.
He couldn't wait any longer, though.
Yeah, he had to go. Now, middle lane, Dragon Tail stun again. You've got movement coming in. Nature's probably TP'd himself up a long way. Going to Sprout and probably hold the Viper, but then again, yeah, not enough time for it. The charge is still coming into the range creep. He kills that off, moves to the melee creep, and DK trying to run himself away. Illusionist going to make himself more of a target here, trying to take the aggro away from the Dragon Knight, but not able to make himself look juicy enough.
But this is opening up the game for Legion, who's uncontested down here for a good minute and a half.
And that means level 6-2, Duel is available.
She considered going in and getting treads there. I wonder if she will. It is a good pickup just to tank up that little bit more. I think Blink Dagger straight off the bat is going to be great here, because you jump on heroes like Viper and Puck, and they can't do anything.
Yeah. And if you've got that support that does TP in, like Nature's Prophet, it's about to crack level 6-2, so Wrath of Nature will also be available. So when you consider all these things that can come out from Team Romania, the ability to take away the Russians' life points quickly is going to be really, really good, even if you are going up against 2 points up in Corrosive Skin. But the Russians are doing the right thing. They bring the Wraith King Skywrath Mage up towards the top lane, and they try and get themselves a kill. Hellfire Blast will fly. They can potentially seal him up. In fact, they kind of actually have to seal him because he's already going to charge away. Jakiro, another Dream Call being used to cancel these TPs out, and they will bring him down. Bottom lane is about to be initiation out as well, and that's going to go over onto, well, who is it onto? Legion Commander tries to actually keep Nature's Prophet alive by just pressing the attack on him. So they only lose to Jakiro here. I thought for a moment they might attempt a duel, but not while Ogre was there with the stuns.
It's a little bit difficult, but this Viper is nowhere near that mech. Really has suffered.
But this is the downside about running any kind of like offlane hero like this that needs to get like a good timing item.
I think the Viper was mid for a long while, just got ganged up by the Spirit Breaker. The Dragon Knight did so well in that lane.
True, but now they push him towards the offlane and he can't fight any of that farm. It's not just because the Dragon Knight, it's the combination. Okay, it's Dragon form, and then a bunch of illusions coming in. And it's like, okay, well, which one's the real one? Does it even really matter? If the Jakiro is down here on the bottom lane, which he's actually not, he's actually fighting up against the Wraith King. They could just force the lane, but in comes the Spirit Breaker. Charge onto the Viper, Dragon Tail to follow up. There is a stun coming out from the Ogre Magi, but Illusius has moved into the tree line. The Viper's already down. The Legion Commander backing up. He can duel himself up with the one charges. Now he starts to duel on the Ogre Magi. Can he get the damage out in time? We have a winner in the corner right now. The buyback coming out from the Ogre Magi. Is there enough damage with the Ice Path into the Macro Pyre? As you said, no mana, which means Wraith King has no reincarnation, but he can still stay alive long enough to kill off that Nature's Prophet. They chase after the Jakiro. Dual Breath coming back off cooldown again with the Dragonite in the front line. Stuns over on the pucks. There's no forward through in the Ice Path. Catching the Ogre Magi. The charge is coming in. He'll break on the Ogre Magi, but it will then switch over towards the puck. DK needs one more attack into Wraith King. He can't get it off in time. The charge is still coming in, but he will bail out the last moment.
That was after a double buyback though. Puck and Ogre feeling the need to buy back TP in just to win that team fight.
It's pretty cheap to do so. Wait, the Sprout gets in the vision. It didn't keep bouncing. He must have run out of creeps. And then quick TP back out to safety after triggering the Sprout. I don't know if also the Sprout gave him vision far enough for that. I got a feeling he just ran out of creeps on the bounce for the Wrath of Nature before he got the Sprout down.
Jakiro returns to the top lane, has unfinished business with this tower.
With a level 4 Liquid Fire now, it won't take him long. But the Dragonite form also comes off cooldown in 13 seconds time. I think Team Russia are trying to do something with it by pushing out with the Puck and the Viper towards that mid. But DK comes to defend. Well, on bottom lane, Ogre. They're already moving back, and Lucius is in the tree lines. No ulti for him just yet, but he's very close to finishing that urn. Now the charge will come. He goes for the Skywrath Mage. Overwhelming odds giving him that bonus damage. There's your Ignite as well. Mystic Flare. They try and actually split it up, but the duel starts over on the Skywrath Mage. A second win at 20 points of bonus damage, but he's locked in the trees. He couldn't get back out again. The orb will come up. Dream Call against the TP. A double kill comes in for Rekt. While on top lane, Ice Path into Wraith King. That'll be the reincarnation to trigger. He can dual breath him up and slow him up with the Sprout to hold him. The Quelling Blade will allow him to cut out. In fact, actually did a really good job there with the Hellfire Blast to make sure that there wasn't an instant liquid fire coming from the Jakiro. But they do still take the tier 1 tower in the top lane. And actually it was denied. Wraith King denied that. They didn't get it properly. It was denied by Wraith. It's coming again. The mad cow disease is real. Ogre Magi will get the stun, but Synergy triggers the ultimate. The Sprout will make sure they have uncontested vision, and then the charge in. Bounces him back, and then the duel. Let him take the last hit. 30 points of bonus damage on this Legion Commander. It's 109 base damage on a Legion Commander 12 minutes in with boots and a stick.
Is that 3 duels so far? Yeah,
that's 3 duel wins. He's always finding the right time, and with an Invis rune too. Okay, he's still got to wait another 30 seconds before he can duel again. But the charge is already coming towards the puck. They won't reach him in time, and now he's actually way too far. Oh, wait. Mad Cow is real. Prophet's going to TP him. There's no Wrath of Nature. You got more support coming in with the Ice Path, catching both Viper. The Macro Pyre will go out. They want to bring down this Viper, but now in comes the Wraith King. No ultimate from him, but he has enough damage to help bring down the Spirit Breaker. Liquid Fire and the attack from Nature's Prophet will ensure the Viper takes a fall. Ice Path buying space for Prophet, but it's not quick enough. With that Mystic Flare coming in the side from the Skywrath Mage. It'll be a 3-for-1 trade as Team Romania really forced the issue a little bit too far.
Where was Dragonite?
He was pushing bottom lane.
He's got a tier 1 to TP to. He definitely could have been there in time.
I think he was just too busy pushing the bottom lane, saying, you know what, guys, you do what the hell you want to do. If you can find farm and kills, go for it. I'm taking towers, and I'm farming towards my BKB. Once that's up, he'll come back into the fights. Either that or he's probably just waiting for Dragon Form.
Well, he's going to get blinked on here. Wraith King
There's no mana.
He can switch to anti-treads, wand, and then switch to int-treads, and he'll have well, he can just wand and have enough, but if he wants to be more efficient.
For now, though, they bring in a lot of heroes to that bottom lane. In fact, all 5 heroes to the bottom lane. Hilarious thing is, too, they dropped the sentry ward down here, but they never put a ward up on the high ground. So Team Romania here are very much aware of the commitment that Russia is providing for this tier 1 tower, and they just let it go. There's no reason to fight it. You got Jakiro fighting levels as well as his Yule Scepter on this top lane. With the next creep wave coming in, he will take it. And the mid lane's trying to add its pressure on too. Legion Commander doesn't want to fight until the Blink Dagger is up. But with the Treant army coming in, they will have to force the fortification. Top lane, Ice Path, trying to keep the Wraith King away from him so he can try and, I don't know, potentially TP out. The charge is on the way. Needs to buy more time here, Jakiro. That's why he's coming back down to the rest of his team. The charge comes in and hits him at the last moment. Press the attack while out for the turn. Is it time to duel? Not while he's currently silenced. He wants to duel. He wants to get close enough. He's like, ping, 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 please, please. No! He's away with a blink. They can move over towards the Yoke of Majai. They'll try and steal him up. The charge comes in. He'll pull out before he dies behind the tier 2 tower. They just profit TPing out too. And they're just on the run. No charge available. Now with a stun. And it's time. It's time. It's time. No! What? You just pawned him. That's not the way that works. Now, Viper also caught inside the Sprout. They'll turn back over. They don't have the Jakiro here, but with the Dragon Form and the Army of Treants, they will take this tier 2 tower. He did have mana for duel, correct?
Yep.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong. He walked up and right-clicked him instead of dueling him and getting the bonus damage.
It does have a really short range, and he was sort of stuck behind a Spirit Breaker, so I don't know if he was trying and just couldn't get there. I think at this point in time, Team Romania just want to kill people.
Yeah.
They don't want people to survive.
At the same time, you never want to back down from getting bonus 10 damage on a hero for free. And now they're over 5,000 net worth. They are still behind in the experience. But the net worth is obviously there because they're 4 towers up over Team Russia. But they've almost got this BKB done on the Dragon Knight. The Yule Scepter should already be fully done. In fact, yeah, it is over on the Jakiro.
Maelstrom on that Nature's Prophet again.
It's the synergy build right now.
I'm actually surprised at how well this Spirit Breaker has been able to do, because a good 4 minutes ago, he was stuck on level 4. He's managed to find level 6, plus treads and earn.
Yeah. He's looking good, man. Treant's coming down right now. They were semi body blocked by the Wraith King, but it doesn't look like Team Romania were aware of this. And they're moving over towards the Dragon Knight. He just finished his BKB, and they're going to fight him. Sealed up, Mystic Flare. The Dragon Knight will be completely destroyed in the bottom lane.
I'm dead, team. it's over for me.
But he did spend all of his money, so they don't lose money on that one. And it's probably better at this point that the Dragon Knight dies, because you're getting more levels over on the Jakiro. You're still getting good times on the top lane to push out. Sure, the Dragon Knight's not farming anymore, but he doesn't lose any real money. And Team Romania will just group up to fight whenever they're ready to push in again.
Yeah, and they don't lose any map momentum either. There's no tower for Team Russia to take.
And it's not so they're getting more farm on the lane because they committed 5 euros to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But they do manage to at least get, like, well, what was it? It was the Wraith King and got the kill. And he's building into a Maelstrom now. So you're trying to get a call. Oh, nice Dream Call. Nature's Prophet wants to try and TP out, but the Ice Path with the Macro Pyre. Wrecked might be reconsidering this. Yule Scepter will buy him a little bit more space. The Macro Pyre is still going to burn, but they got the mech over on Die. That'll keep him alive, but they have to fall back. They can't keep going on the chase because the Treants are adding too much momentum to this top lane. And if that Prophet... Okay, he's not going to buy back for that because he could face shift dodge it. I'm actually surprised who the Prophet goes for the Maelstrom over the Orchid. Like the Blink Orchid in this game. Because it'll be so effective up against a hero like a Puck. Unless he just assumes you'll get the Scythe of Ice later on.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking also that if the Puck goes in, the Jakiro has been really on point with the Ice Paths. He's always been in a position where he can throw that onto the Puck and the Wraith King, who are always on the front lines, blinking in and engaging. And then you've got Spirit Breaker, who's the secondary guy who just charges in onto one of them. Then Duel to lock one in place. So they don't necessarily need something to silence the Puck because he's playing so aggressively.
Oh, they see the Puck. Look at the ward. It's the perfect positioning, and he just goes straight in. The charge will come in to give the bonus damage. She pushes him further away, but the winner will be there. In fact, the hilarious thing is the winner is, in fact, the Spirit Breaker. So it's only 44 points of damage, which Legion Commander will move himself up to. Oh, Prophet. He missed up the hill. He missed up the hill. I haven't seen an attempt like that in a very long time. And it's not as though we had perfect vision of it either. There's no ward inside the base. But yeah, he went for a courier snipe at the fountain. Zizu, way too far out of position. He'll Yule Scepter and TP. Oh, but then again, Hellfire Blast will come in. The charge is on the way, but he'll get nothing in time. But the charge will connect to the Wraith King, and in comes Nature's Prophet. Wrath of Nature still on cooldown, but the Dragon Knight will move its way out. Gets a stun, and there goes your reincarnation.
Can he blink in time?
The answer is no.
Really nice from Weeha, that Flame Breath.
And Duel! Won by the Legion Commander, 58 points of bonus damage, and they found the Yoke of Majai, Bash from Illusionist. It's a multicast 3 times over, but allows the Legion Commander to blink himself up and get another kill
This blink has been massive for the Legion. As soon as she got it, instantly finding pickoff after pickoff. 3 jewels in a row now, plus the level 2 ult, and now 1,400 gold in the bank.
Are they coming high ground? They don't have Jakira, but they do have that Dragon Form to do at least the tick damage onto the tier 3 tower.
Yeah.
So even if they don't take the tower right now, they can still force some kind of reaction out from Team Russia.
You put it on like 3/4, maybe 2/3, and then you back off.
Well, they've actually got it down to 2/3 at the moment. Press the attack on the Dragon Knight after the Viper Strike, try to tick him down. Another problem as well with that Viper Strike. Before he picks up the Aghanim Scepter, the damage is just, it's negated by the fact you got press the attack on the Legion. But Legion still needs to find a way to keep her mana up. Like when you look through the lineup, there's not a single mana boot in Team Romania. They've got no way to keep that regeneration coming.
Yeah, I wonder what she goes for next. I don't think Armlet's really viable with Viper and such dots on Team Russia.
In this game, I'd actually look towards... I actually want to see a Maelstrom or a Desolator. Just go for the damage output. Go with the momentum you've got. The reason why I say Desolator too is because like you can make it so Nature's Prophet doesn't have to buy that one. DK is not going to buy that one.
I think if you
in fact, actually, am I going to take that back? I'm seeing a second Mithril Hammer here.
that'll be Mjolnir.
It should be. It should be.
I think with the Legion, if you want minus armor, go for AC. Then you get the bonus armor as well when you're in the middle of a duel.
Yeah, that works. And now that'll be building it the way Pycat would normally build it as well. But looks like he's going BKB. That's an Ogre Club. So he could still go for a Halberd, which actually wouldn't be a bad choice.
No.
Well, there is 2 primary options with that. There is also SMY, but that's basically just listing an extra item, which you could potentially build with it. But chances are low. Jakira's keeping that pressure up really nicely on the top lane as well. Well, that then allows Nature's Prophet. Oh, it really does feel like game 1 again. What does Russia do? They want to fight 5-man. They couldn't do this before in game number 1, and they never found a solution to it. I'm wondering if now they do have a solution because they've got some good blinks in. They can go for good initiations. But that means they have to move out. And the puck cannot be the one doing the defense work on the top lane.
When does Roshan become a target? Both teams are sort of circling around it now.
I don't think they even need it. Like both these teams, if they can get it, sure. But you got to win the fight before you can try and go for Roshan. There's no other way around it. Wraith King getting a little too close here. Liquid Fire's putting down the tower, and Cardi's doing the rest of the work. They'll just deny this bottom tower. But that now means that Team Romania, if they ever wanted to jump, they could do so. All 5 people down here. That's the last out of the tower. But can the teams even really go for Roshan if all 5 heroes are up?
Are they going to sneak this?
Nah, they're coming for kills. The Observer Ward's seeing up next to the secret shop, and that's why Ogre Magi, like, yeah, they're all currently missing, and they go instead straight towards the Viper with the Macro Pyre. It's time to duel. Viper will go nowhere. Nature's Prophet will take the kill, but it's 72 points of bonus damage on a Legion Commander. He's almost hitting at 200 damage. For a Blink Dagger Treads Ogre Club. That's the beautiful thing. Like, this net worth right now does not take into account the amount of damage. Like, if you put a monetized value onto dual victories. 72 points of damage. How much money would you have to spend to get that?
4,000?
4,000 gold.
I don't know, because Relic is 3,800, gives you 60 bonus damage. What is it, 2,400 for Demon Edge gives you 92?
You can do all the math you want to, man.
So just say 4,000.
We'll say 4,000. Wonderful. Observer Ward, it won't be scouting out Team Russia coming in. They're going to have to blink and go in, and that's exactly what they do. Dream Course, nicely positioned. Spirit Breaker just looking to TP out straight away. They haven't finished off Roshan just yet, but the duel went again. Another victory will come their way, and Legion Commander wants to finish the work. The Wraith King, the Reincarnation, will bring him back up again. Nature's Prophet TP's out too. He'll come back in with his own TP ability. More stuns, but Wraith King, he'll finally go down. Double kill for Legion Commander. The Aegis, the Immortal, well, it's currently in the hands of the Dragon Knight. BKB and TP out. Legion Commander will not be so lucky, and Ogre will take a very large amount of money for that. But instantly Synergy starts the pressure on the top lane, and Russia must TP back. Roshan also was killed by the Radiant Sign, so there was no snipe out from that.
Wraith King did try his hardest, though. I think
he really did.
3 hits. If he had crit once, he would have taken that Rosh and maybe even taken Aegis, but Team Romania doing a great job there. Russia blinking in, getting into the Roche pit, into the middle of a Dragon Knight in Elder Dragon form, splashing everything in sight.
He really did some heavy lifting in that fight. And when you got Frost Dragon with potential to have that lightning proc out, it's... yeah. Russia is pumping up against a lot of damage and a lot of dot effects as well at the very, very start, because you get that spill out, but then you've also still got that tick damage, which is coming in.
And the more Team Romania tank up, the more damage that these ticks can do. Because the longer they stay alive, the more they can get them out onto the enemy.
Should also flag as well that Zizou, taking him some time, but we're into that point again. All out of towers go down, and now we require Mech to go high ground. At the same time, Legion Commander will finish the BKB. You got double Maelstroms, which push the lanes even faster, forcing Russia deeper into their part of their territory.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the old days where supports used to build mech, and they would get it at the timing you're breaching tier 3s, simply because it would be 30 odd minutes into the game, and like, oh, I get my first item. It's amazing.
But in this case, it switches around, so you actually get initiating items from cores, and then they get the support item when it's really required to achieve that objective. Yeah, that's a smart little thing we've been watching here at IeSF. Now, the mid tower is going to be pushed out by Russia, but there's still that fortification available. And the TPs are already coming back, and that's the Legion Commander is the first one to arrive. The BKB will arrive on the Courier too. Secondary TPs, and they're just getting the hell out. The Observer Wards are seeing just how much support as well Russia is bringing into that mid lane. And we start the Necrobook build for Synergy.
Russia know that there's a ward up here. Scarlet gets hit by that Wrath of Nature.
He's also being charged, which was another bit of a problem for him. And that's another thing, like, you know there's a ward there, but at the same time, you might have just been charged from halfway across the map.
These illusions are so tanky. Wraith King going one-on-one. Still can't kill it. Viper helps him out.
They have... look, they're split again. The puck is defending up on this top lane. And you got Jakiro as well as Legion Commander praying that somebody gets dueled.
It's so similar to the first game. Slow and steady
Charge.
pressure.
You'll scepter up. And that'll actually be protection for him, but the Ice Path, and they start the duel. Viper goes down again, 100 bonus damage now in that Legion Commander, and the follow-up onto the Wraith King. He's got reincarnation, so he'll come back to life in a moment, but the BKB protects him from that Skywrath Mage Ultimate. Now he's back in the world of the living. You got Skywrath Mage still hanging on the edge, but he's got no extra damage to give. And where's the extra stuns? Ogre wants to throw it. He still doesn't have that Aghanim Scepter just yet, so there's no double stuns, but he gets a triple stun over on the Legion Commander, who tries to break free, but the Dragon Knight is completely uncontested, brings down the Ogre. They move to the Wraith King, this time not in range of the Ice Path, but there's more than enough brute force coming out from the Mad Cow. And they will bring down the melee racks as well. Park, what was he doing in there?
No buyback.
This is troublesome. The Wraith King's already bought back. He doesn't have reincarnation. They can go again. The Ice Path is down. Wraith King's in trouble. The Mystic Flare trying to do his work, but the charge up. Russia, they've lost even more right now. Viper is back in base, just typing in AFK. Things have gone horribly wrong.
And they've got Mech on Zizou. If only they had Arcane Boots just to refill this mana, but they can still keep going. Nature's Prophet with the Treants. Dragon form runs out, unfortunately, but they've still got more than enough damage output.
Fire
They do have liquid fire.
Dai's making his way out. He can't move out of base because that blink from Legion Commander can still duel. She still has enough mana to do a blink duel with a prep up as well with press the attack. And they're coming for the tier 3 tower in bottom lane. They want Russia to come and fight while they're a man down with no reincarnation. Even you had Nature's Prophet go back to base to heal up and then come back out again. And now Viper, he's so close. It's like he's asking for it right now. Legion Commander, BKB, there's your duel. Viper, he is so dead to the world. They'll move up, they go to the Okamajai. All things are going wrong. GG, well played.
Romania do it through to the semi-finals up against Georgia, who did actually take out their opponent in the quarterfinals, taking out Team Norway.
Who knows, maybe we can see that remake of Team Romania going up against Newbie, the only team so far to actually beat them. Of course, we did see MVP take one of the games off them, but we could see that matchup. Romania, a well-deserved victory. Of course, at the same time, I want to give a massive shout-out to the Russians. In game number 2, that was just superb confidence in themselves just to go straight down that middle lane. they made Romania work so hard for these victories.
They showed they could give as much as they take. Like, they actually threw it in Romania's face. We can do this. We're going to take your throne. You can't stop us. But in Game 3, Romania showing that strat from Game 1 really does work. Spirit Breaker and Nature's Prophet all across the map. And then we have the Romanian fans cheering for their country.
That they are. There are a couple of hardcore addicts who have come out here on a wonderful Friday night. I'm hoping as well, if you are here in Azerbaijan, that you do come down and join us here on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, semi-finals, the grand finals as well. And we've got amazing games all throughout the hall as well. For now, we're going to go to the main stage with Cap and the winners interview.
All right, guys, I'm here with Zizou, the captain of Team Romania. Dude, that was an amazing series. We're going to make this as short as possible because I know it's been a long day. I want to jump right into it. Game number 2. That was an intense match. How did you feel like going up against that? You guys had 2 sets of racks in Russia. Getting Aegis, 5-manning down mid, buying back, 5-manning down mid again, and able to take your throne. What happened in that game, and was it demoralizing going into such a clutch match like that and walking away having to go to Game 3?
Well, it wasn't demoralizing because we did some mistakes, like we didn't use our spells properly, and that's why we lost. They managed to win after the 2 racks handicap. So, I mean, I knew that if we respect what we discussed with our strats, we will win.
Do you feel like it was more on yourself making the mistakes rather than, okay, fair enough. And then that Game 3, it seemed like you guys had a pretty commanding control of the series once again. Both Game 1 and Game 3 felt like you guys had most of the control throughout the game. I just want to say congratulations. And what do you think about the next series that you're going to be having? I'm not sure if you've heard, but it's going to be Georgia, who managed to take out Team Norway. They are going to be your opponents going into the next semifinal. Do you know anything about this team, or are you going completely...
Not really, same thing. We don't know anything about this team. We will try our best again.
All right. Well, it seems like you guys are definitely the fan favorites here, as we've got plenty of Romanians here cheering you guys on. Congratulations once again, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. So that brings us to an end of IeSF day number 2. We are going to have a short little PSA. First of all, we do have some buses, a shuttle that's going to be leaving now. If you guys want to stay for the StarCraft female tournament, the grand finals going on right now. There is another shuttle for that. And that brings us an end to day number 2. So thanks so much for everyone who's tuning in, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for day number 3, where we have the 2 semifinals as well as the third place matchup.